Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a few months since I posted anything, and I apologize for that. I've been kind of running out of things to talk about because of not really being able to do very many races the last year. But there are still a few that I can talk about. And I've just been kind of procrastinating about it and, dealing with work and just being very exhausted when I get home. So, I've been just not doing it, unfortunately. I'm going to try to be better about it the next few months. But today I wanted to talk about something that has actually come up with me personally the last couple of weeks because the weather's finally nice for me to be going outside running again. And I'm running into some pains from doing the runs outdoors when my body has kind of gotten used to either running on my treadmill or running on the track, the indoor track where I work at the gym. So I just wanted to kind of talk about essentially the importance of with running not doing the same thing over and over again. Like, it's fine to run, but it's more beneficial for your body to not do the same exact route every day of the week, not do the same exact thing every day of the week. It's very important to try to do a lot of different things to activate other muscles, because the problem that I'm running into currently is, well, a couple of things. One, running on the treadmill all the time, you're not exactly the thing pushing you forward. Like, I know the belt is doing a lot of work for you, so you're not necessarily doing a lot of the push to get yourself moving forward. So that's one issue where I thought I was kind of solving that by running around the track every now and then when I was working at the gym, either working or working out. I'd do that after I got done, last thing before I left. And then, of course, there were a few times where I just went and ran an insane amount of mileage around a track that is more or less 1/16 of a mile, so that meant that I had to do about 16 laps around to actually hit a mile, and the last time I did it, I only did 13 and some, maybe 14, when I was aiming to do close to 20 miles. But, is what it is. I ran a full marathon around it back in January as part of the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend, because it was January in upstate New York, so there was not really very many safe places to go to run 26.2 miles, and I could very easily estimate, how many miles I did at the track versus going out on the road and kind of running endlessly until I figured out the 26.2 miles. And I know there are apps to map it out for you. I keep running into issues with them for one reason or another, so I just find it easier to go out and just run on my own and figure it out. But in that instance, in wintertime, I didn't really want to deal with that, so, and then with the pandemic going on, our school, actually, where I work, that's my full-time job, they shut down for about 2 months, and normally I would get done with work at the school, change, and then head out on the sidewalk and run up the hill nearby that goes up to a college in town. And I stopped doing, I wasn't doing that at all because I wasn't going to work. And to me, it kind of defeats the purpose to leave the house, get in the car, leave the house, run up the hill, get done, and then get in the car and drive back home. I have a treadmill right here. I can run on the road right here. Snow's an issue. Okay, get on the treadmill. So that was part of the thing with that. But I've run into an issue now, like I said, going back to running outdoors, where my legs have kind of gotten used to running on flat, either running on the track or running on the treadmill, just pretty much staying flat. And I'm noticing a lot in my legs now because they're almost like the muscles went dormant on me during those few weeks. And now they're kind of like, oh, we need to be awake and we need to be doing things again. We're not used to this. And I do, training, resistance training at the gym as well. But that can only do so much because you're kind of isolating certain muscles in those instances. And I was apparently not activating certain muscles in certain ways, so they weren't used to kind of going up and down in elevation. So I just wanted to make a little video about the importance of changing up your routes, changing up what you're doing with your running training. Don't do the same thing all the time. I'm also running into the issue because my massage therapist and I have been dealing with, we found that I have an issue with my right shoulder, and we've been trying to work that out. And in the meantime, because I apparently did injure something somewhere, I've been staying away from doing really any resistance training on my upper body until it's more or less healed, because I don't want it to be in the process of healing, almost totally healed, and then me do something that then re-aggravates the injury and sets me back some more time. So I've been trying to stay away from that, so instead I'm doing a lot extra resistance training on my lower body, and I think that's definitely tightened up some things that I'm now dealing with. So this is kind of a do as I say, not as I do kind of situation. Don't do what I'm doing. You will have issues with it. I think the only reason I'm really surviving this is the fact that I've been doing a lot for quite a few years now. If you're like just starting out, definitely don't do what I've been doing. But in any case, yeah, and I've, read a lot of different articles in like Runner's World and from other runners online that always change things up. Don't use the same shoes all the time. Don't use the same route all the time, because your muscles get used to certain things, so they're always reacting to those things. And then if you go somewhere, like say for a race, and you run, your muscles, if you've been training the same exact way constantly, your muscles will kind of more or less revolt in a way, because they're not accustomed to the change. So basically, like if you train like doing the same exact route all the time, your muscles will just be used to that. So if there's any modicum of a change, they won't be happy. Put it that way. So that's why people always talk about how important it is to run different distances, do hill training, do fartleks, do pace training, you know, don't necessarily run the same speed all the time, kind of slow yourself down, worry about not so much about distance, but about how much time you're out running, so that your body's used to moving for a certain period of time before you go out and just run a certain distance. Kind of work on stuff like that, because it all comes into play when it comes to running. If you're training for a marathon, you want to not necessarily run 26 miles, but at least go out and run for 3 to 4 hours, so that your body's accustomed to moving and running 3 to 4 hours. Not necessarily race pace, but like half race pace or something, you know, just so that your body gets used to being out on the road for that amount of time. And then from there, kind of working on getting the distance in. So it's all very important. And yeah, don't be like me. Don't just rely on your treadmill and an indoor track just because of convenience. Get out there and run on the road, do your hill training, do your fartleks, do whatever you need to do to train. I'll admit, I don't know that I've ever done a fartlek training. I know I've done hill training, but I don't know that I've done fartleks really. Fartleks, no, I have, but on the treadmill, not outdoors. So I should probably myself really work on doing that outside, because fartleks, that's in English speed play. So basically, you start out at a slower pace, and then you, after a certain length of time or a certain distance, you speed up to a faster pace for maybe only 30 seconds. Then you go back down to the slower pace and back and forth. That's a very important thing to train with, and I don't do it as often as I should, because it really helps. It actually helps increase your speed doing that. Because again, your body's getting used to, oh, I'm doing something for a brief amount of time. It's kind of like just resistance training in itself, because you know, you go to the gym, you pick up the dumbbell, and you're doing like 5 pounds, say, your first time, and you only do maybe 10 reps. Okay, that's good. Next time you go in, do 12 reps instead of 10. Okay, I see an improvement. Next time you go in, since you increased the reps the previous time, you go in and you increase the weight this time, but you do fewer reps. So it all kind of comes together like that. So, but the main thing is, I keep saying it, and I'll continue to say it even in future videos, don't do the same thing all the time. Try to change it up a little bit so that you're working more muscles in different ways, so that it all benefits you in the end. So that's it for this video. I know the last video I made went on Patreon sometime in January and never made it to YouTube. By the time you're seeing this on YouTube, that video will have already been posted. And this video will, of course, be posted to Patreon earlier. That's one of the benefits of being a patron. So Links for that are in the description. Sorry again for the long hiatus. I will be fixing that so that I'm not taking so much time in between. I do, like I said, I have a few more races to talk about. Quite a few. One thing I need to do is go back and look at what races I've actually talked about and go from there. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. I will see you again in the next video, which again will be sooner than these gaps have been lately. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below with any questions or comments, and until next time, remember, we're in it for the long run. Peace and love.